Agitavach, Agizintavach. We have the play out of the brachas and klalos of Har Grizim and Har Eival, where the psukim tell us that 6 of the Shevatim need to go on top of Har Grizim and 6 on Har Eival. But the breakup is very interesting. Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, and Benjamin on one mountain, and on the other, Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zvulun, Dan, and Naphtali. What's the explanation for this breakup? Why these 6 Shevatim are the ones on Har Grizim, which is the mountain of bracha, the Shevatim that are held in higher esteem? After all, Shevet Levi, Shevet Yehuda, Yisachar are the Loimdim, Yosef and Benjamin are from Rachel. But then one would not have expected Shimon to be there. Shimon was the one most responsible for Mechiras Yosef. How do we explain this breakup? And in general, what is this charade where the Gemara in Saita and Daf Lamed Zayin tells us, as quoted by Rashi, that this procedure was when they crossed the Yarden, they had 6 Shevatim go up to Har Grizim, 6 Shevatim on Har Eival, the Kohanim and the Leviim in the middle. The Leviim turned their face to Har Grizim and they began bebracha. Baruch holiest asher lo yasa pesel masecha, and everyone answered Amen. Then they turned to Har Eival and they said, Or holiest asher yasa pesel, and everyone answered Amen. What is this charade? This is not how Moshe Rabbeinu typically gave shir. He gave shir. He sat everyone in the base medrash and he said, put on tzitzis, put on tefillin, here are the guidelines, here are the parameters, here are the particulars. He didn't say, okay, Reuven, you stand here, Shimon, you stand here. Why davka by the brachas and klalos did you have this charade with 6 Shevatim on one mountain, 6 on the other? This is the question of the Be'er Yosef and Parshas Re'eh. The Be'er Yosef points out that this is not the first time that this charade is referred to. In the beginning of Re'eh, it says, Re'eh, Anoichi Noisein Lefnechem Hayom, Bracha Uklala. See, I give you today blessing and curse. Says Rashi, not that Hashem gave it today, but they will be said on Har Grizim and Har Eival. But why does the pasuk say, I'm giving it to you today? It didn't happen today. It didn't even happen in this week's Parsha in Kisavai. It doesn't happen until Klal Yisrael enters Eretz Yisrael and goes to Shechem. So why does the pasuk say, Noisein Lefnechem Hayom? Why does the pasuk ask the Be'er Yosef begin Re'eh Lashon Yachid instead of Re'u, and then Lefnechem Lashon Rabim? And interestingly, the Be'er Yosef says that this charade has a very profound and important message. The Gemara in Kedushin says, La'olam yira atzmai ki'ilu chetzia chai v'chetzia zakeh. One should always imagine themselves as if they're 50, half merit and half guilty, half chayav and half zakai. If you do one mitzvah, you're fortunate. You tilt the scales l'tzad chus. If you do one aveira, woe to you. You're machriya yourself l'kav chayva. One should always imagine themselves that their merits and demerits are teetering, the scale is teetering, and your next move will spell the difference to your destiny. But the Gemara continues, always imagine that the world is 50-50 teetering, and if you take one step in the right direction, you tilt the scale in the favor of merit. If you make one step in the wrong direction, then not only do you bring yourself to the side of demerit, but you bring destruction to the whole world. That a person always has to imagine that their next move spells the difference to who they are, what their status is, and what level they are, either merit or demerit, zakai or chayev, not only for them, but for the whole world. When the Rambam codifies this Gemara, in Hilchos Shuvah, Perek Gimel, Halacha Daled, the Rambam says, Kol Hashana Kula. You need to see yourself the whole year. Says the Be'er Yosef, a person is not influenced just by what you tell them. They need visual aid. So in order that this visual aid is seared into our mind, in our mind's eye, that wherever we go, we always envision ourselves as if the scale is exactly even, not only of our own repertoire of actions, but of the entire world. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, have 6 Shevatim go on one mountain and 6 on another, and that will be the visual aid to always imagine that you're 50-50 And no matter what happens, your next move makes all the difference in the world, not only to what will happen to you, but to the entire world. Therefore the pasuk says, Ra'eh, see. See, it's a visual aid. And when should you see? Hayom, every single day of your life. See every individual, lifneichem, that what you do affects the entire world. Based on this, the following revelation comes out very beautiful. My friend Ramatis Friedman shared with me from the Sefer HaParsha L'Doiraiseha of Rav Avraham Korman on page 216. He brings, why was the breakup of the Shevatim, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, Binyamin on Har Grizim, and Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zvulun, Dan, and Naphtali on Har Eival? Because if you add up, there are many ways we could have divided the Shevatim. This is the only way where the Shevatim come out basically exactly equal. The 22,200 of Shimon, 14,150 of Levi, 76,500 of Yehuda, 64,300 of Yisachar, 85,200 of Yosef, 45,600 of Binyamin equals 307,950. That is basically and precisely the same as the 43,730 of Ruvain, 40,500 of Gad, 53,400 of Asher, 60,500 of Zvulun, 64,400 of Dan, 45,400 of Naphtali. That comes out to 307,930. Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, Binyamin, 307,950. Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zvulun, Dan, Naphtali, 307,930. It's only a difference of 20. This is the only way to break up the Shevatim where they come out kemat exactly the same. Maybe you could say because the way Hashem works is when the scale is even, Hashem throws merit to the side of merit. He's mate klape chesed. So you have 20 more on Har Grizim than on Har Eival. Any other breakup of the Shevatim, it would not be as equal as this way. So therefore, says Rav Avraham Korman, this is the reason why the Shevatim were broken up this way. But according to the approach of the Ber Yosef, it comes out even more beautiful and striking because the purpose of splitting them up this way is to show the teetering of the scales, because in all likelihood, even though there are a few extra on one side, it's not enough really to tilt the scales. So this is an amazing insight into the breakup of the Shevatim, and we should taka bizoicha to gain this level of awareness, to always think that our own repertoire are exactly the same, are exactly equal, and the whole world is exactly equal. And this is a very empowering idea, that each and every person's every move spells a difference for their destiny and the destiny of the whole world. There is no one more important to the future of the world than you. Wishing everyone a git gesund Tavach.